For you guys is I feel a lot of luck, a lot of expansion on the professional front in terms of your public image, the image you are projecting, the stage presence, the command and the voice of authority that you have over other people. Okay, I do feel that in any capacity where you have to put yourself in the spotlight, like public speaking, training seminars, or any other type of similar like predicament, you are going to outshine the rest, and you're going to be very, very, very well received. Okay. I do see a lot of movement with you guys. I see this breezy new energy. A lot of you could be traveling back and forth. A lot of you could be traveling, like just physically traveling to a warmer climate. I see southern hemisphere for a lot of you, across water to smaller islands, like a chain of islands potentially, or visiting islands is what I'm sensing. I'm seeing like beaches. I'm seeing beaches, fish, possibly scuba diving for some of you, and horseback riding, especially for other people. So like I'm seeing a warm climate, Mediterranean, or very tropical, or very like around the equator is what I'm feeling. I do sense that if you're taking a trip, it is going to be a very phenomenal time. I feel like for a lot of you, you have been cooped up for too long, okay? Like, you might have been working very diligently and you might not have taken a vacation day. And I feel like all the vacation days are just essentially piling on. And as a result of it, you might just not have time for leisure activities. So I do feel it is a little bit problematic, but I do sense that for this month, a lot of you are re-injecting fun, excitement back into your life, and passion, I feel as well. I see you traveling with other people, like with a group of people, or enjoying a lot of activities in a group setting. Going back to the message, a lot of you might be in school still, and you're finally, it's summertime, so you're catching a break, and you might be able to do some leisurely activities. Picnics and horseback riding sounds very good. I feel that if that's something you're into, I feel that that's the where you can get, the most bang for your buck, and the most restful and recreational time. The important thing for you to get away from for this month, like the takeaway message, I feel, is that you really have to, if you've been drawing inward, if you've been living like a hermit, if you've been staying like a hermit, if you've been keeping to yourself socially, it's really important for you to incorporate new friendships into the environment for yourself. And it's really important for you as well. It's one thing to work hard and stockpile your money, but it's another thing to just spend money without worries, and even like to splurge on a few items here and there, to take that trip to replenish your mental health. I do sense it's really important for you. So don't be a slave to money, I would say. And take mental health days when you need it, and really treat yourself well. I feel like you take care of everybody, but you don't really take care of yourself as well. Okay, you're not as lenient on yourself. You're very hard on yourself. And so it's a good month, I feel, overall, to pamper yourself and really reconnect with yourself about your desires, about your needs, about, what's bringing you emotional happiness, and even like security. Okay, I'm actually going to pull out another card here. I'm going to leave it upside down just to clarify the Ten of Swords. I don't want to end up with the Ten of Swords. Okay, I'm going to leave it upside down, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. And let me straighten the cards out. Okay, so in terms of, this is your emotional state. We do have the Two of Cups as well as the Princess of Swords, so the Page of Swords. A lot of you are dealing with an air sign, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And this might have been something coming through from last month, and if not, it's coming with a very, very strong emotional tie to one another. And I usually read the Two of Cups as a past life energy as well, where your soul recognizes each other. The Six of Cups usually indicates more of a romantic ambiance. The Two of Cups can denote like friendship being solidified. It can even indicate like some type of a past life where you might have been friends, you might have been colleagues, you might have been soldiers in arms, is what I usually see this as. Somebody who has your back, and you have a very, very strong sense of trust and faith in one another. Okay, so it's on a very, very deep karmic level where you utterly, faithfully trust the other person, and you likewise, like, you can't explain it, but you just have this very, very strong pull and trust towards the other person. Even if you go through life and you're very mistrustful of a lot of people, this person, if it's a Two of Cups that comes into your life, you trust them with everything you've got. Okay. um I feel like this is a really beautiful energy, and you have well, I can't speak. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords here. And what this is telling me here is, I do sense there's an air sign around you. And I feel like this person is a little bit of a troublemaker, but you always forgive them. You always like see the best in them. You always want to make sure they're good, that they're okay, that you give them the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like this might have been an ongoing situation. I feel like it might have been prevalent with a lot of their flaws. Not that they're horrible, bad people, but I definitely see there is a soul connection that allows you to see them not as they are right now, but the potential that they can become, and the ways in which they can, grow to the best of their capabilities. So I do sense a lot of forgiveness, a lot of mentorship, and a lot of like handling this person with kitty gloves. I see you being very, very patient in dealing with this person. For a lot of you, it might be a child, your own child. It could be a nephew, a niece, or like if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you're, work with children in a mentorship capacity, I do sense overall you see the best in everybody. But I feel like this is somebody who might be a little bit of a troublemaker. They might have had problems with lying, deceptions, um, general misbehavior, like in their past. They're trying to do right because they look up to you. I feel there's a sense of like them looking up to you greatly, and because of it, they try to do their best when they're around you because they want you to be proud of them. But when you're not there, they might get themselves into, old habits. So I definitely feel this is something to keep an eye out for. I feel like um there's something happening around you that you might not be aware of. You might not be physically present when it happens. You hear about it. You will hear about it. I feel around the 19th, so the second half of the month, um, something related to this person, okay? So I feel like it's a younger person, a younger energy. If this is shown, I don't feel so much a romantic partner, but it could very well be. So if it's a romantic partner, I do sense that they might be biologically younger. And keep in mind the description. It's somebody that gets away with a lot of stuff, a lot of slack from you. And like I said, you're very, very critical about yourself, but you're critical of others too, because you are picky. But for some reason, this person, you let them get away with a lot of stuff. So if this is a partner, you might need to think twice. And it's really important to think about, past life energy and soul connections. But don't let that be a crutch or an enabling factor in allowing you to overlook someone's massive flaws. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So just be mindful about this energy coming through here. And I do sense that it's coming in very, very early on. And this person is a little bit careless. They're waving their sword around, and they might cut the wrong person, or they might get themselves in sticky situations. Okay, so teach them a lot about personal responsibility. Hold them accountable for what they're doing, because I feel like you might let them get away with a lot. You might not be vigilant, and a lot of things that they're doing, misbehaviors, are slipping under the radar. It could, for a lot of you, it could be siblings, younger siblings, but I feel like a child vibe with this person. Now, in terms of your career and your work situation, we do have the Six of Wands and the Hierophant. This is like the combination for a promotion here. So the Six of Wands is a card about success. This is your public image that is being recognized. You are being like put on a pedestal. You are like the shining example that other people are looking up to. And, that's a standard, typical Virgo at work. In any work environment, you will do something right, and you do it right the first time. So people don't need to remind you constantly. People don't need to fact check you. People don't need to like proofread or go over your work, because everything is done very meticulously. And I do feel this is the month in which you are getting a lot of the recognition. The Hierophant indicates structures, institutions, and it also indicates advancement as well, something that is being solidified. Okay, so for example, if you've been waiting on a promotion, I do feel a lot of you are getting it. If you're waiting on that title change as well, a lot of you are getting very, very good reception from people in authority, and you're also in a place where you are feeling like you're very, very proud of your accomplishment, and those around you know that you are an asset to the company. Okay, um in a minor sense, it can also indicate what I'm feeling is, for some of you, okay, for some of you, you might have like an idea whether or not you want to get married, whether or not you want to have children. So if you're in a committed relationship, I do sense relationships being taken to the next level, moving in together, getting engaged. I don't see marriage coming through just yet, but I feel maybe further down the line. I'm sensing like there is heavy discussion about child rearing, about love and sacrifice. I feel like, one person might want to work on their career, so they might want to delay child rearing, and then the other person might decide, oh, one parent might decide to stay at home to take care of the kids. I do see some element here about one person stepping out into the limelight, the other person taking a back seat. But I don't feel like one is at the expense of the other. I feel that a compromise has been reached between you and a significant other that will allow you to do this in a very harmonious manner. So no one feels like they're getting the short end of the stick. Both parties are coming to this consensually. So I do sense that it's a compromise being reached on the family unit, okay, on the relationship front, on the family unit. But things are being taken up to the next level. Now, in terms of your relationship, these are very, very good cards too. We do have the Two of Wands and the Chariot. The Two of Wands is a relationship card, but as you can see, one person is bearing the brunt of the relationship. One person is like at home, manning the house, manning the fortress, okay? And the other person might be traveling. So I definitely see a lot of traveling, a lot of movement. Either you are traveling or your partner is traveling. One person's at home manning fort, and the other person is out in the world to achieve greatness. So I feel like I don't. What's weird is I see all these cards, but I don't see hostility. I don't see like imbalances. It's really strange. I feel like for a lot of you, especially if you are in a relationship, like a very, very stable relationship, you could be in a relationship, let's see, with a fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, potentially even an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And what I'm sensing is what I'm feeling, it's almost like one person is feeling kind of like overshadowed by another person. One person is always like they're kind of like in the public eye a lot. So a lot of you might be with a Leo, an Aries or a Sagittarius, like a fire sign that is in the public eye a lot. They're getting a lot of attention, and there might be some insecurity creeping into the relationship. Likewise, if you've hit this major, major career move and you find yourself thrust into the limelight, I do feel there is that sense of worry, trepidation from your romantic partner, potentially regarding like where you are, who you're with, who are you dining with, who's around you, who are these new females or male coworkers that you are mentoring. So I do sense a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of insecurity coming through, but I don't feel that this situation is going to be that bad, okay? What I'm also sensing is, if you are with a water sign, and this is just coming out, if you are with a water sign, um, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and in particular, I'm getting this message in particular for the water sign. There might be some flirtation. There might be suspicions about stepping out on the relationship. The water sign might be. And I feel like you're getting news of it, okay, based on this, the Two of Cups and also the Princess of Swords. There's some news communication if you are in a relationship with a water sign. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. There's some news about, news kind of drifting your way. Oh, I saw such and such with, another person. So just be very mindful about that. I do sense a lot of one partner is like really caught up in work, and the other partner is like home alone a lot. So there's that sense of isolation. I don't feel this is a month for you. This is the month for you to take care of these issues, because I do feel they are being brought up because they're quite important. And I feel like around, possibly like around for the next 2 months, I'm sensing next 2 months, it might be a source of contention between the two of you. So just be very mindful about that, okay? I hope that makes sense. I feel like something is being brought up and it's like, hey, this is something you should look at. This is something you should try to balance out. This is something for you to talk to your partner about. Whatever is coming up this month, it seems to me like they're very, very minor, but it has a habit of creeping up, okay? So don't let anything slide this month. Do not let anything slide this month. If something crosses your path and you're like, something's off, I do feel your intuition is telling you something's off, and that is something you should explore with your significant other, okay? In terms of your finances, we do have the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups, first of all, let's talk about this card. This is walking away from a situation that we have invested a lot of emotions in, okay? A lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. So it could be like starting a business, feeling as if this business is my love child. I'm going to watch it grow. I'm going to like foster it from the ground up and nurture it and take care of it. And it's going to be great. And I do feel for a lot of you who are business owners, it might be taking a lot longer than you've expected. Okay. But I definitely feel some trickle of money coming through. All right. A lot of you are, being headhunted, being offered new jobs. I do sense new jobs. I do feel that it might take you outside of your geographical location as well. And if you are thinking about, moving for the job and your partner is staying behind, I feel like that's what's coming up within the next few months that could cause the escalation in jealousy. So whatever you need to talk about, do it this month. Really try to do it, flush it out, settle it. Over explain if you need to, make things super awkward if you need to, but get them sorted out, because I feel like in 2 months time, I feel like they might be causing major rifts in the relationship. So just be very careful about that, okay? So your financial situation looks very, very good. There is a revenue stream coming through. So for example, if you have been married to somebody and they're staying at home, I do sense that there's a job they want to get out into the world. I feel like one partner is staying home and they want to branch out. They want to have a life. And I feel like there might be a discussion here about, who's staying at home taking care of the kids and what should we do in terms of childcare and things like that. So logistical things, because both partners want to work. So there is a new revenue stream, and I do sense because of it, the old way of life has to pass away. A lot of you might be leaving one job for another. A lot of you might be feeling a little bit drained from your old job and you're looking for something else. I do sense new job coming through, and it says here 1 month's time, okay? So 1 month's time, I feel something picking up for you. Now, in terms of your advice, I do have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is sailing away from past emotional hurts and pain and getting onto a boat and taking all the knowledge with you, taking all the lessons that you've learned from that past troublesome experience, moving forward into a safer environment, okay? So a lot of you might be in a situation where you are leaving old jobs. I do sense leaving old jobs. I do feel that if you have been in a relationship with an air sign, so this is, if you have been living with an air sign, taking care of an air sign, in a relationship with an air sign, and like I said, if that description of the air sign sounds familiar, a lot of you might be sailing away or the other person might be leaving. So there is some type of contention coming through that might make a situation like it, I feel like it's driving a wedge between people, and as a result of it, one person is like gracefully walking away. In terms of love and romance, we do have here This is the Eight of the Eight of Wands, and this is the notorious travel card. So both of these two indicate long distance communication, traveling by sea, traveling over long distances, not so much over land. This is more international travel. So a lot of you are currently traveling right now, and you might be communicating through, like not so much snail mail, but through like social media, through emails, through phone calls, international phone calls, and things like that. I do sense that it is going to be very, very good for you. I don't see any troubles associated with this sailing forward stage, okay? So the last card that came out here is the Ten of Swords, and I pulled out as well the Six of Cups. I'm going to read these two together because I feel like the other ones are telling you move on, move ahead, and don't look back. And then this card is all of a sudden, blockages in the way. And what it's saying here is that I feel like a lot of you are at a point in your life where you're charting new territory. You're trying to leave. You're trying to move on. And then something comes in and stops you in its tracks. And it's basically saying that I feel like you're getting a blast from the past. You're getting that deja vu moment, and you're getting something that you had a feeling was too good to be true. And I feel like it might turn out that it is too good to be true. Okay, and something will come in and kind of like bring that to light. So I feel it happening around the first week, like first week and a half at the most. So something is kind of bringing this situation back down to reality. I don't feel it's with work. I do feel it's more with interpersonal communication and interpersonal relationships. If you have been dealing with somebody that you are very, very lenient towards because you can't get mad at them for some reason, try as you may, you can never get mad at them. Especially if like it's a younger person, okay? I do sense it is really important for you to set examples, set very clear guidelines and regulations, provide a lot of structure in that situation, and hold them accountable for what they're doing too. Hold them accountable, okay? Um, I'm sensing that if you haven't taken a vacation yet, Virgos, a lot of you might be ready for a vacation, and then you're about to leave, and then somebody from work calls in and says, "This new trainee that you've been training for the past 3 months messed up on something." And then you're just like, there's that bittersweet moment where you're just like, oh, I'm not going to be there to fix it, but I wish I were there so I can, knock some sense into them. So I do feel that kind of frustration coming through. So a lot of the times you do a lot of the work and you take it upon yourself to do everything, mainly because you feel like if I don't do it, it's not going to be done right. And while I believe that's generally true with Virgos, it is true. You do everything really well. I do sense that, it's time to delegate. It's time to teach other people so that they can help themselves, okay? And it's really important if you give people the benefit of the doubt and let them show you what they are capable of. If you're doing all the work all the time for other people, they will never learn. And then when you're like due to leave on a vacation, they will mess up. So just be mindful about that. I do see a younger energy, possibly people you're training, people you're taking care of. There's something that they're doing that is like that they don't really, it's almost like they're not making the connection. They know that you want it a certain way, but they're not making that connection. They don't have that deep understanding as to, why do you want me to do it like this? So I feel like explaining it as you go would be very helpful. I do sense that the other person works on an intuitive level. So they always try to cut corners. They might try to like find the fastest way to do something. So let them figure things out on their own. I feel that you don't need to do a lot of hand holding. They know what they're doing, okay? I'm going to see if there's any last minute messages. I definitely see so much travel. We have like the Chariot, the Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands. I see a lot of walking away too and blast from the past. So I'm just going to do your love reading and see what else is coming through here. I do feel on the work front, things are looking really, really good for you, Virgos. So let's see what's in store for Virgos for love and relationships. What's going on for Virgos for love and relationships? Oh, okay, 3 cards already. Okay, so I did this for the, I believe, Sagittarius reading, and when the cards echo the same themes, then I'm just going to leave it as is and then pull out more cards if need be, okay? Like once I clear up this energy, because it's pretty much giving me the same themes. Okay, so first of all, I feel like a lot of you who are in committed relationships, okay? I feel like you're staying in a relationship for practical reasons. I don't feel the love is there anymore. I don't feel the passion, the chemistry is there anymore. And I feel like there are a lot of financial assets involved. And as a result of it, you might not want to leave. Like, it's a comfortable situation. Everyone's got their designated role. What I'm also sensing is I keep getting that image. One person is working, the other person could potentially be like a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, okay, to the kids. Everyone's got their predetermined role, and one person wants to step out of their predetermined role. So, for example, that person that is a stay-at-home mom or dad might be wanting to step out into the world to make their own money, to achieve their own financial stability. Um, that's what I'm feeling here. And I feel like there is some power struggles. There's some like realignment that needs to happen within a relationship so that it's fair. But more importantly, I feel like it might be a relationship that is devoid of love and true, like passion and chemistry. You definitely, I feel like it can be fixed because the death card is in the reverse position, which means that it's not over yet. You have to do some tweaking. You have to like find a way to re-inject passion in the relationship to make sure that the situation doesn't get out of control. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like 2 months time it can descend into chaos. So please, if this sounds familiar at all, try to take care of it as early as you can, because I do sense it being a major source of contention. Like like one person, it seems to me, is like out in the world a lot, traveling a lot, giving a lot of lectures, giving a lot of seminar, is constantly in the public limelight, and is getting a lot of attention in a good way, but also there's a lot of temptation. So there's also this sense of not getting divorced, not wanting to get a separation because of reputation as well, because of financial considerations, but also because of that, public image as well. That's what I'm feeling coming through. The foundation here, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, I feel like this might be a third party, a fire sign, okay? So Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. This is somebody who is, when it's in the upright position, it's somebody who's like hesitant. They're standoffish. They might not want to get involved because they're scared. When it's in the reverse position, I feel like all hands on board. There is a temptation here. There is a tendency to like, I feel like somebody is like being very, very passive. There might be hints that the relationship is not working out anymore, so a third party might be trying to interfere. Or if it's you and your partner, you feel like the relationship is like kind of going to, it's like being drained of love and devoid of affection and also like chemistry. So you feel like, oh, I'm just going to wait for it to fizzle out, rather than taking the initiative to make it better, or taking an initiative to walk away right now. I feel like you're just letting it go on cruise control, which is not a good thing to do. So turn this situation around. Try to fix it, okay? Let me pull out a clarifier here for this Knight of Wands. We have the Three of Swords. And if you are in a relationship with a fire sign, stable relationship, once again, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, try to do some damage control. I feel like this person feels very, very isolated and alone, okay? I feel like they feel neglected. They feel like you're not there. They feel like the love has run out in a relationship, okay? They feel like physically you're not there. And it's a fire sign, so they need a lot of affection. They need a lot of like compliments. They need a lot of attention. Think of it as a plant. You have to really nurture the relationship. So let me see what else is coming through for you. Okay. So actually, okay. On the other hand, I do feel that if you are kind of dating about. I do sense that a lot of you have a good social life. Like generally it's healthy. You have a small circle of friends though, Virgo. You don't like to spread yourself too thin, and that's mainly because you are very picky about the people that you interact with and also the people you call your friends. You want friendships that add value to your life. And I feel like Virgos and Capricorns, but Virgos more than any other sign. You want um I would say Virgos and possibly Cancers. You want friendships. So you don't care how many friends you have, but you want the friendships that are real to add value to your life, okay? So you don't really mess with people that have like chaotic lives, that make poor decisions. You are very quick to cut them out. So I do feel that you have like you have good friends around you, and the ones that you consider friends, they are very generally very good people. I do sense that on the dating front though, your friends might be married. Your friends might not be the type that, go out to bars and socialize and mingle and generally do that. I don't feel that way. So we do have the Hermit coming through, and it's basically a situation where you might feel a little bit isolated and you don't really know how to break out of your shell. You don't really know how to interact and get yourself back into the dating field, okay? If you have, I feel like a lot of you might have dated a fire sign and then you are transitioning. Like you might be single right now and you might want to just break out of your rut, and you don't really have that, that other person, that wingman to really go out on the dating scene with. I would strongly advise you internet dating, because more than anything, on paper you guys look really good, okay? That's not to mean that you don't look good in person, but I feel like on paper you guys are virtually like irresistible. So try to do some online dating if you can, just to break yourself out of this funk, and try to go to meetup groups, go to events near you, look at community bulletins and calendars, look at lectures, and even if there's a university, or something like that close by, or a library, look up events where they might have a book club. I highly recommend book clubs. And even universities, if there are lecture halls and seminars and things like that where they have guest speakers, and if there's um, a certain seminar on an area of expertise that you enjoy, then definitely attend it. That's a good way to meet people. And I feel like it's an intellectual environment, so it's not as scary, it's not as intimidating, and it's not as contrived. I feel like you might shy away from the dating scene. So if it's an intellectual community coming together, bonding and talking over certain topics, then I feel that that might be your cup of tea. Okay, so really break yourself out of this rut and really start dating again. I do sense a lot of people circling around you that might be interested in you, but I don't feel anybody is really catching your interest. You're keeping yourself encased and enclosed, okay? You're sequestering yourself. So really try to break out of that zone. What I'm also sensing here, we do have the Four of Swords. I do feel like mentally, you know that you have to break away. You know that it's good for you to really branch out, but there's a lot of fear and anxieties here, and most of it is just not having success in the past, and then feeling as if it makes you uncomfortable, I feel, and because of it you're not dating. So let's just see what you can do, because I feel like people are coming through, but none of them are really catching your eyes. So we do have here the Seven of Cups in the reverse position, and this is basically what you can do. And the Seven of Cups, this is scattered, like a lot of choices, and you are picking and choosing from among them. When it's in the reverse position, it's basically narrowing down your choices. I do sense at this point, dating is not fruitful for you because you're not meeting the right types of people. So take my recommendations and try to go to these events that you feel a very strong pull, affinity towards. That will allow you to interact and branch out with like-minded people, because I feel like there are people around you, but I don't sense any one of them really, catching your eyes. And I feel like there might be like an air sign that I mentioned earlier with this Four of Swords here, but I don't see them emotionally being available for you. What I'm sensing as well is find like-minded people, go where they flock. And a lot of you might just be incredibly busy as well with work. You might be traveling a lot, and that might also interfere with your love life. So try to make love a priority, especially for you singles, okay? And I do sense by the end of the month, the love situation, a lot of invitations and things like that will come in for you that will allow you to really break out of this sense of isolation, okay? So Virgos, I wish you the best. It's a little bit of a sad reading. I don't like seeing this, but I do wish you all the best. I'll come back for the mid-month reading and see if anything changes, okay? But join a book club. I hear that's really good for a lot of Virgos. I feel that you would enjoy it as well. So take care of yourself. If you'd like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com or visit my website. The information is in the description box below. I will catch up with you in the mid-month